Or were you not? On a gay cruise.
No, you're 120% dick fit.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
Because we don't care about anything else. We're walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Gonorrhea. No. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here in Balladorf with another episode that is actually live from the lair. And let me tell you, I have been glued in front of my TV just watching the decompression and the magic chicanery the left is coming up with and all of the tactics that they're going to use to try to stop the fascist Trump during his 4 years, to include, we've got women shaving their heads, saying they're joining the 4B movement, which is, big, bitch baddies who are busted and they're not going to give us pussy, which is fine. Well, you have 63% of the men not looking for pussy, and then you have all the liberals either transitioning their children, taking them out of the gene pool, and now they're not going to screw us. So 18 to 20 some odd years from now, we won't have to worry about them because they'll be replaced. Okay, now, I don't even know where to start. We've had some people kill people over this. We had one lady kill her father with an ice axe. I saw that on Tim Pool earlier. And this is going to be absolutely glorious for the next 4 years. And I would have to say it might actually go longer than that, especially if the Democrats don't pull the woke horseshit out of their butthole and run on identity politics. Because if they don't have any good ideas or something that actually helps people, like for real, other than giving them free shit, they're done. They are done. And I can actually envision another party taking their place and them just kind of fizzling out into the background until they're nothing but annoying static that you hear after 2 a.m. in the morning when you wake up for being passed out because you drank too much. Not that I know anything about that or anything. I'm just saying. I'm such an asshole. Anyway, let's get on with the show and let's really earn our walkthrough in hell.
I think we're pretty much all the way there, man. This is the antics that have been coming through over the last couple of days are just it's just delicious. The head shaving thing. I don't really get the head shaving thing. I don't know. Are they depriving us of their lustrous locks, or what's going on there?
Listen. The last time I saw women get shaved was after World War II, and the French shaved, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of women bald who were collaborating with.
It was a couple thousand. It wasn't
Nazi.
that many, but it was a couple thousand.
From what I read, it was more than.
Mostly it was prostitutes and stuff.
Yeah, and collaborators.
Yeah, and collaborators.
Mm-hmm. The real bad ones got shot.
They did get shot. There was some shotting done.
Yeah, there was some shooty
shotting was did. I appear to have picked up a new nickname in the chat, by the way. I am now Dwarfabetus.
What is it?
Dwarfabetus.
Dwarfabetus. I got to write that down.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's funny, so there it is. The level of stuff that's going on. There is a new plot, by the way. Have you seen the new plot? Harris actually let Trump win the election so that she could catch him cheating, and she's raising funds right now for the recount, and she's going to bring it all down, and she's actually president. And it's like a gay leftist QAnon conspiracy theory. It's
only way I could actually get behind a theory like that is if we saw a, I don't know, mysterious spike in the voters that wasn't in line with any of the voting from the past.
Like a vertical spike?
Yeah.
Of around 20 million voters?
Somewhere between 15 and 18, 19 million votes that, just miraculously appeared in coolers and boxes.
Sure.
Behind Cobo Hall in Wayne County, Michigan.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
But that did not happen.
I'm good. The other thing that's killing me is this whole, you bastards just want your cheap eggs and gas. All we want to do is kill our babies. Have you thought the logic through on that? Have you sat down and thought the logic through on that?
Yeah, I have a hard time.
What are you doing?
Let's just wrap our head around that. Okay, so.
Literally, that's what they're saying. I'm not even fucking making it up. I'm angry. Sorry.
I know. This is the left thinking, though. You're at the checkout line. You have a cart full of food that you have to pay for. You have 2 or 3 kids from 2 or 3 different baby daddies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have to feed them, and you have to pay your rent, mortgage, and you got to pay all your utilities and stuff.
Right.
But somehow making all that work so you don't wind up in the bread line or on the street is not as important as you being able to murder a child because you're irresponsible and, that let some dude that you don't even know or unworthy man deliver something directly to the warehouse to start a chain reaction that will wind up having another kid.
Pro tip: don't get pregnant.
That's right. I mean, there's over 24 forms of birth control. Well, most states, you're allowed to, do the abortion up until 8 to 12 weeks. All right. Now, listen, if you trip and fall on a penis a couple hundred times, and then you don't seem to pay attention to your own body and your own menstrual cycle for more than 3 months, you might be stupid. I'm just going to put that out there. Just saying.
What really kills me about the stuff that I'm seeing online with this whole thing is, and I realize we're going down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I feel this rabbit hole is worth exploring for a moment. These girls brag about body counts in the hundreds. There's one girl out there who's trying to rack 500 kills in a year.
Yeah, I think it's 600.
Is it 600? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah, I've read that article.
What are you doing?
All right.
What are you doing? Not only are you never going to be able to form an emotional bond with anybody ever again, but nobody's going to want to ride that subway.
Yeah, because that last stop is going to be ugly. Ugly.
Oof.
You don't want none of that. I'm just saying. And listen, when you look at the studies, once they get around 20,
yeah,
most of them never get married.
Yeah.
Or they have a chain of divorces.
Yeah. And 40 to 80 is a long
yes
time.
In fact, we were ordering our food today at Boff's, and this old cooter walks in, and
she just radiated it.
Steve is like, "Box wine in Catland," and I look over, and I'm looking at the posterior view, and I'm looking at the dump tank that probably, dumped 3 or 4 kids, and you could tell her derriere is sitting off its frame. It's hanging low.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of worn out mileage on that model.
Oh man, that was
no ring on the finger. And then she walked out with her food and got in a hoopty.
Yeah, and you could tell by the look on her face too that it was end of the road despair. There's no joy. She's not going home to any joy.
Well, they're stuck on the island in Boxwine and Catland, and there's no return ferry.
No. Once you get voted onto the island, that's it.
The only way off.
Yeah, it's
dirt nap.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's tough, man. That's tough. So, meanwhile, away from Boxwine and Catland, U.S. prohibits airlines from flying to Haiti, and UN suspends flights after planes were shot at by gangs. Why is this relevant to current events in the United States, the election, and all the fun things that go with it? Because we just imported a couple 100,000 Haitians.
Those people are here now.
Yes.
Just so you know.
And if you think that our magic dirt is going to change their behavior, you got another thing coming. Okay?
Well, actually, dirt will change your behavior.
Well, yeah, but you need to be placed beneath the dirt in order for that to take effect.
That's right. You need to be properly placed in your horizontal rot slot,
yes.
And then your behavior changes mysteriously.
You behave well for a very, very long time.
That's right.
Yes.
You are very dirt compliant.
You are dirt compliant.
I got to write that down. That's great.
The Federal Aviation Administration announced Tuesday that it was prohibiting U.S. airlines from flying to Haiti for 30 days after gangs shot 3 planes, and the United Nations temporarily suspended flights to Port-au-Prince, limiting humanitarian aid coming into the country. Hopefully, this means it will stop the flood of Haitian illegal invasion.
All right. Now, hang on.
What?
Hang on. At some point, some country is going to probably have to tackle this crisis and deal with these individuals.
Yeah.
And the only effective way to do that is you got to make a majority of them dirt compliant.
Or put a few of them into a state of dirt compliance in a spectacularly public manner.
That does work.
Yeah. That works too.
Mm-hmm.
That does work too.
But that place has been fucked since, I don't know, forever.
Okay, look, we've mentioned this on the show before, but sometime around, I believe, 1787 or thereabouts.
History time.
It is history time with Battle Dwarf. There will be a test. The French had Haiti. That's why they speak the Creole that they speak.
Mm-hmm.
And the slaves who were there were from some of the more violent African tribes that were deported by the Ashanti. That was during the time that the Ashanti Empire was doing their
Slave trade?
And the African tractor supply,
Yes.
if you will. Because that's what they were. They were farm equipment. Let's be brutally honest here. Is a matter of farm equipment. Well, the farm equipment got angry one day and decided to kill every white person on the island.
And that, yes.
Which they did. And then after a little bit, like a month later, they were like, oh, no, it's okay. You can come back. Because some of them obviously managed to get away. Some of them came back because they got plantations and all their wealth is there. Oh, they're dead too. And then the angry farm equipment decided that that's not quite enough, so they killed all of the mulattoes too. And to this day, that place has never been civilized.
Nope.
It just is. It's like Somalia. I can find Greek letters from traders from the year 500 BC, where the traders are like, okay, this place in North Africa is great. This is nice here. Stay the fuck away from Somalia. All they do is kill you and take your stuff and eat you too.
Well, Haiti does have a guy named Barbecue.
They do, yeah. I'm just talking about the similarities between the two cultures, Haiti and Somalia. You can't civilize them. It's been 2,500 years. If they're not going to civilize in 2,500 years, you're not going to. No. I'm sorry.
Future conduct is usually predicted by past performance.
Yes.
Just saying.
That is true. And it's not great. Not great. So anyway, a Spirit Airlines plane, a JetBlue plane, and an American Airlines plane.
Is it? I don't think it's showing on the screen.
Oh, my bad.
Shit.
See, this is why we need Blake and Jimmy Bones. I'm not good at
Share
this yet.
it.
There it is. Anyway, 3 aircraft were hit. Spirit Airlines, a JetBlue, and an American Airlines. Somebody quipped earlier on the internet today that that's pretty par for the course for Spirit Airlines and right on brand for Spirit for some reason. Yeah, apparently they've got a semi-shady reputation.
Well, I've flown on Spirit a few times. None of them were pleasant. It was never a pleasant flight.
I don't fly anymore. I'm done. I have flown.
Unfortunately, I have to travel. I have to basically propel my meat suit great distances in a short amount of time. And it usually involves getting into a tube made of aluminum made by, I don't know, a couple of thousand people who, got the lowest bid. And, what could go wrong?
With DEI these days?
Yeah.
And parts coming off aircraft and now fireworks receptions and other festivities at airports. I see no reason to fly anymore.
I understand.
I feel I have done my fair share of it. Intense turbulence over the ocean just off of Alaska one year on my way to Japan was enough I was like, okay, if I can survive this and then make it back and I don't have to do that again, I am going to not do that again. I've had my share of that.
I was in a C-5A that caught on fire. That was interesting.
Oh.
And people were actually floating in the air as it was diving for the deck. We're going below 10,000.
Zero G'd. At least they got to do that, though. That had to be kind of cool. Well, except for the plane is on fire part.
Yeah. What the thing is like we're literally diving for the deck, and I'm looking across at this dude on the other side of the aisle. And he's literally floating, and he's doing this to stabilize, looking at me, go, "This is bad, right? This is bad."
That's fantastic.
It's funny now.
I mean, you got the experience. You got the weightless experience.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's great, but
what the funny part is, as we're like technically crashing, there's people taking pictures of other people taking.
What unit was this?
Company F425.
You see, that's why it's grunts.
It's fucking hilarious.
Hey, we're in a plane that's on fire, and we're all going to die, and we've achieved zero G because we're diving at the deck. Anybody got a camera? Who's got the camera? That's absolute.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely grunt behavior.
We're way off in the weeds.
We are way off in the weeds. We are in fact way off in the weeds. I was only Grunt adjacent, but I was around enough of that
Yeah.
to know exactly what's going on there. Let's get back to our Haitian friends real quick here. The shootings are part of a wave of violence that erupted as the country, plagued by gang violence, swore in its new prime minister after a politically tumultuous process where they kill a lot of each other in order to decide who's going to get to eat their enemies first.
That would be the new
basically-
definition of tumultuous?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought,
The
maybe.
UN will divert flights to the country's second airport in the northern, more peaceful city of Cap Haitien. I'm sure it's more peaceful. You realize that on the other side of the island is Dominican Republic,
Mhm.
which is a prosperous, relatively peaceful nation.
Yeah.
And it's night and day.
Like I said.
Or cannibalism and papayas.
Oh, no. You have cannibalism and you have soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Already a convoy of 20 trucks filled with food and medical supplies in the south have been postponed in an operation providing cash assistance to thousands of people. Support AP, go away. I will never understand attempting to give cash to these types of people. It doesn't
It doesn't work.
work.
Yeah, you listen.
They go buy a couple of AK mags, some gold, and then do drugs or drink the rest. And the cash is gone in like 24 hours.
Well, they usually take that money and make other people dirt compliant
Yeah.
after they eat them.
Right.
Of course. You don't want to waste it.
No, you don't want to waste it. So Haiti is basically in an uproar right now. And what this means for us and how it applies to the U.S. at the moment is, as we said, there are hundreds of thousands of these being brought into the country. And no, there's no way they're going to change. And it's just a matter of time. Once they concentrate, it's just a matter of time before they start behaving in their usual cheerful self.
Their festive ways?
Their festive ways.
Yes.
Their festive ways.
With
Now-
the distance fireworks? Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great way to celebrate, I guess. Yeah, I got you. I see it.
And ripples of that happening are with the recent thing we found out about FEMA, where they were avoiding Trump houses during the cleanup.
Yes.
And the individuals in charge happened to be of a similar background to our Haitian
Stand by.
friends. Yeah.
How many times in the military did you see something that didn't work out as planned, and then all of a sudden everyone's doing this? All the finger pointing. It wasn't me, it was him. And that's exactly what's going on. All right. They supposedly fired the person who was responsible. In my opinion, that individual is a patsy. Because I'm going to be honest, you have to have a systemic culture within that organization for that to happen. Because normally, if you have a bad apple at the top and the culture's good, and you get some wazoo instructions like that, people are like, I'm not doing that. That's an unlawful order. It's not this bullshit. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
But you had a whole bunch of them actually deny some people aid, and other people's, got double aid or AIDS. Who knew?
This is probably very much a case of she got caught, so she's getting thrown under the bus.
Correct.
But as I mentioned, it's a similar group of people for the most part.
Mhm.
And as we've seen over the last couple of years, a lot of that particular group are becoming less and less civilized in their behavior. There's video after video after video of just random beatdowns in the street for no reason at all.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's hopefully we can get that.
So yeah, you put them in charge of something like a government, and what are they going to do? They're take it out on the people they don't think that they don't like.
No. They can take it on the people that they can.
Yes. Yeah.
Because normally, if you have people that you can't really do that to, you don't mess with those people.
Yeah.
But if you can, that's why I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment, because when you look out throughout history, every government, every empire, civilization, if it exists long enough, it goes off the goddamn rails. And it's a lot better if you have the ability to fight back against said, area or entity that's off the rails than being a helpless victim, i.e., Holocaust, the Russians, China,
Cambodia.
Yeah, I mean between.
There's one for you. If you don't know about the killing fields,
Oh my God,
you haven't looked into that.
That was a good movie too.
Holy shit! The movie didn't even begin to touch.
No, I know, but
didn't begin to touch on the violence. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
a very good movie. Yeah, it was absolutely a good movie.
But that's what happens, and when people make the argument, well, they should have the right to a gun for sporting purposes. I'm like, you know what? That's no. If you're a citizen in this country and you have the Second Amendment, I should be able to own something comparable to what is being used in current military.
Okay, if it's for sporting purposes, I hereby declare my sport my previous profession.
There you go.
That's my sport.
Yeah, and I could argue that all day long. So let's move it along.
Sure, absolutely. Where were we? Oh, yes, we were in FEMA land. FEMA has been hit with more bad news. It was revealed that FEMA didn't answer half the calls it received for disaster aid. Now, I know we had the fella on here from FEMA the other day.
Yes.
And look, dude, I believe you. I sincerely believe that you care and you want to help. The problem is your middle level and high level management consists of this stuff. I mean, here it is. The evidence is on the table. I'm sorry, but the dead fish smells bad.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I get it. And it's the same case in the military. Military intelligence, our boots on the ground guys.
Yeah.
We sincerely believed in the damn mission.
Yeah.
We really believe we were there to fight for our country. And then you get to our mid-level management and everything, and you've got, well, the shit show.
Fuck those guys.
Exactly.
And it turns into stab everyone in the back and cover your own ass.
Yep. Let's not forget that the media said that anyone claiming FEMA was incompetent or had an anti-Trump agenda was a conspiracy theorist. Unfortunately, dead fish on table. In another remarkable example, it turns out these conspiracy theories were actually true. Do we want to watch a moment of this video here?
Yes.
Last week's election exposed how liberal media lied to your face to prop up Kamala, and now the left's been exposed again. Last month, after FEMA botched its Hurricane Helene response, Democrats got on their soapbox and blasted everybody who criticized the agency. Remember? Turns out the only ones politicizing the hurricane was FEMA, and that misinformation the left warned you about was true. According to a bombshell report by the Daily Wire, a FEMA manager told relief workers in Florida to not help homes with Trump signs. Internal messages obtained by the Daily Wire shows the list of rules for FEMA canvassers. Rule number 2,
Here it is.
Avoid homes advertising Trump. So after FEMA confirmed that the messages were real, Director Deanne Criswell fired the employee and called her messages reprehensible.
Okay,
right, stop it right there.
I just stopped it right there.
Yeah, she needs to resign immediately because this actually happened on her watch.
Okay, so stop right there even further, because we all know how this works. If middle level management was issuing orders like this during an actual disaster down in Florida, everybody knew about it because she's issuing that to all the teams that are going down there.
Well,
which
hang on.
means that all of the teams had the opportunity to report her above, and they didn't. This only happened because it got caught.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. And in fact, we have a FEMA issue going on here in Michigan as we speak.
Oh, yeah, up in Oscoda.
We have FEMA doing a exercise.
350 trailers.
362 trailers.
362 trailers.
That's the last number I saw.
Really?
In Oscoda, Michigan.
Really?
Which is an old Air Force base. I hunted it once. It was a pretty good time.
This is territory that we can reach, is it not?
Of course it is.
I would love for some, I mean, it would be terrible if cameras showed up there and stuff.
And footage got sent to us.
Shown
Just
and
saying.
Things, and if anybody was in the area.
Well,
specifically don't do that, okay?
Because we are a pseudo news joking site, I guess.
As you know, don't do that though, okay? Because very bad, not good.
You crack me up, man.
You know our email address. What do you want from me?
No, you're good. You're good.
What do you want from me? On that note, with the Haitians coming in and FEMA just abandoning American citizens, Reuters comes across with Trump's day one, and I will remember to put the screen up this time.
Okay.
Oh, yay me, I can learn. Deportations, border wall, scrapping Biden's humanitarian programs, mass illegal invasion. Donald Trump is expected to take a slew of executive actions on his first day as president to ramp up immigration enforcement and roll back signature Biden illegal entry programs, a sweeping effort that will be led by incoming, quote, border czar Tom Homan and other Republican immigration hardliners.
Okay.
Resources familiar with the matter told.
All right. So all of that word salad he just said is Trump is stopping the human meat invasion.
Yes.
There
This
you
is, I have been saying this for a number of years. Since this started in Europe in 2012, the Bolsheviks' new weapon of choice is the human carpet bomb.
Mm-hmm.
How do you defend against a human carpet bomb? They overwhelm your community with living bodies. It's not like they're using high explosive ordnance.
And they're weaponizing compassion and
Yes.
mercy against you.
That is absolutely correct.
Because compassion is expensive, mercy is free.
Yes. And they're tailoring this stuff. They're really tailoring this stuff. Look at it. In Germany, it's the Turks. That's a centuries-old rivalry. In the Nordic states, like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, it's Muslims, like strictly just Muslims.
Yeah.
In Ireland right now, it's Africans. Just Africans. They're putting the least compatible groups together.
What could go wrong?
Haitians are being sent to our small towns in what is basically white America. It is. It just is. Yes, there are people there who are Black and Hispanic and so on and so forth, but they're primarily white communities. They are. The Haitians have a thing about white people called killing.
No, dirt compliant.
Dirt compliance. Enforcing dirt compliance.
Yes.
They like to enforce dirt compliance on white folk.
Yes.
I mean, it just is.
Well, actually, anyone who opposes them.
Yes, actually. What they'll do is start there, but then they'll go after each other. But if more outsiders show up, then they'll go after those.
I've been getting some rumor mill stuff that a lot of the Haitians in certain cities are fighting the Latinos.
Yes, that's happening. And then you've got the Venezuelans being sent into Texas, where mostly it's Mexicans, Tex-Mex, actually, who are great people. I fucking love the Tex-Mex.
Yeah, they make good food.
The one
Which I
that make
can't
good
eat anymore,
food. They're just really nice people. One of my best friends is Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
At any rate, the Venezuelans and the Tex-Mex don't get along.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as a betting man, I'm going to bet on the Tex-Mex.
This is deliberate targeting.
No.
Yeah, as am I.
Yeah, I'm going to bet on the Tex-Mex.
As am I.
I served alongside a lot of those sons of bitches, and they are tough bastards.
Yeah.
Tough bastards.
Yeah. What is it with the Marine Corps and Navajos?
I don't know.
I met so many Navajo Marines.
And listen, I got to say this, but I know there's a bunch of negative press about Puerto Rico. But in all my time in the service, I never one time had a Puerto Rican soldier fail me.
Neither. Me either.
I mean, those dudes will die to complete the mission.
I only knew one, and he was half Puerto Rican, and he was a first sergeant, and he was a dick.
That's okay.
The guy was just every other Puerto Rican. We had a mostly Puerto Rican BMO one year in battalion.
As long as he's a dick equally to everyone.
He's not, though. That was the thing.
Oh, okay. That's a problem.
We had a 3/4 Puerto Rican BMO at battalion one year, and it was summertime, and we would come down to the motor pool in the morning, and they'd throw open the big bay doors and play salsa music, so everybody's out there servicing the vehicles.
Yeah.
It's great. Everybody loved, even the sergeant major's like walking around.
Let's get back on track.
Back on track. My bad. The executive actions would give federal immigration officers more latitude to arrest people with no criminal records, surge troops to the Mexico border, and start reconstruction of the border wall, the sources said. Stop. Let me break this one down really freaking fast here. Give federal immigration officers more latitude to arrest people with no criminal records. You entered the country illegally.
There you go.
You entered the country illegally. You have a criminal record. You're here illegally. You broke into my home. This is the equivalent of somebody walking into your living room and the police saying, sorry, we can't remove him.
Now, all right, let's just be honest here. This is a war.
Yes.
When you're in war, what are the targets that get hit the very first ones are the easiest targets to get. So why don't we go after the people in jail and prisons, because they're not going anywhere. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then we work our way down. It's just that simple.
Yeah. So, next item on the list, surge troops to the Mexico-U.S. border. Well, that is literally what our oath of service was: defend the United States, its people, and the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And domestic, with no expiration date on that oath either.
Literally, the oath we take is to defend the nation.
Correct.
So our troops should have been on the border all along, and I will accept just station troops at the border, and if people try to come across like they're doing, just nope.
Mm-hmm.
Say no. Go back. I'm okay with that. But we're not there anymore. We're not to that point anymore. I suspect that we will see some kinetic action because we're about to take a lot of money from the cartels.
I've been suggesting that we get kinetic with those guys for a long time.
Yes.
Here's another thing. If you dig a tunnel underneath the wall or whatever, and we catch you, you should be shot on the spot. Yes. Boop. Yeah. Dirt compliant. Who knew?
Yeah. If I find your tunnel, I'm going to put a couple of satchel charges down there.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Because, that's premeditated.
Yeah.
All right. That's one thing if you're starving or something happens.
It takes weeks to dig those tunnels. Months.
Months. Yeah. But say you're in a desperate spot and you're like, I want to try to get over to America. And okay, we catch you. We send you back. Oh, I got it. But if you're going to be that methodical, because most of the time you're not going to do that for shits and giggles. You're using that tunnel to bring in fentanyl, which is the equivalent of an NBC weapon.
Yes,
it's so potent.
It's not the equivalent of it. It is.
It is.
If you show criminal malicious intent in the act of invading the country, I'm going to shoot you.
Dirt compliant.
I'm going to shoot you. This isn't Jose and his wife and 3 kids coming to pick lettuce.
No.
I really don't have a whole lot of grief with them. They've been doing it for a very long time, basically since the country was here.
Yeah. But most of them, they come, they work, they go back, or they fill out the paperwork, they do whatever they got to, and I'm cool with that.
Bother anybody.
Yeah.
If you come here and play nice, generally, I'm pretty okay with you.
Yeah.
That's not what we're dealing with.
No.
By the way, nobody walks from Africa to the United States of America. No. You got to go.
And also, we need to identify the NGOs that have been assisting this for the past 4 years.
I have them all identified.
And the government needs to pull their tickets. Literally shut them down.
Yep. Yeah. That is treason. That is treason. Yes. Aiding and abetting the enemy in their effort to attack the nation. That's
at worst, at best, it's sedition.
Yeah. No, sedition is when you act against your own country. Treason is when you act with somebody from outside against your own country. That's why there's 2 definitions there.
Okay, I've been corrected by the battle dwarf.
I am. That's my thing. What do you want?
I got you.
And start reconstruction of the border wall. A border wall, like Israel has, or Hungary has, or any number of other countries.
You mean the ones that work?
Yeah.
Listen, all right. When Trump first got elected, he was trying to build the border wall. And back then, I was still friends with my liberal idiots. I don't associate with them really anymore. Yeah. And they're arguing, well, the wall would be so expensive. It's like 3 aircraft carriers. And I'm like, if you look back at history, walls tend to work.
Great Wall of China.
What?
Yeah. They tend to work. At least while they're manned and guarded.
Yes.
They work.
Mm-hmm.
Israel has fences and walls.
Hungary has fences and walls that work great.
Yeah, Italy, Russia. Mm-hmm. They're all starting to put up fences and walls ever since 2016. I wonder why that is.
Berlin Wall.
And another thing, we could easily follow the money and track down to where the money came from that funded all of the good idea fairies to make this happen and put them on a wanted list and bring them to justice.
I am not saying that this is a good idea, but it would make a really cool movie where a bunch of people who betrayed their country where after the wall was built, they were hanged off the side facing the invading country would make a neat movie.
As long as it's a movie.
Movie would make a good movie.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now we can't be.
No. What?
I got you.
Huh?
Never happened. Move along.
Trump is also expected to end President Biden's humanitarian programs that allowed hundreds of thousands of migrants to enter legally in recent years. There's literally no law that allowed any of that. They just flew people into the country.
Correct.
And could encourage those with expired statuses to leave voluntarily, according to the sources who declined to be identified. They should be, bye, you're here illegally. You are not a refugee. From what? Fix your own country, for fuck's sake.
Now, listen,
I'm tired of babysitting.
There's a whole hidden army of veterans that would love to go down there for like a 90-day tour at a time and help unfuck that whole situation. Putting up barbed wire, doing...
We need to do some roundups within the states themselves now. They're everywhere now.
Yeah, you're right.
They're literally everywhere now. But yeah, we could do 90-day rotations. I mean, you could do it red, white, and blue phase.
Yeah.
Red phase, you're down on the border. White phase, you're rounding up on the interior. Blue phase, you're refitting and training.
Well, you could have the sheriffs deputize veterans to assist.
Yep.
Because they're authorized to do that. It's in their job
correct.
description.
Yes, it is absolutely correct. Sheriffs do have exactly that power. All of these things should be on the table, said Mark Morgan, an immigration official in Trump's first 4-year term, who said he did not speak for the Trump transition team. Trump's early executive actions would kickstart his immigration agenda, which includes a promise to deport record numbers of immigrants in the U.S. illegally. They're here illegally. Bye.
Yeah. Thus the word illegal.
Yeah. Migrant arrests reached a record during Biden's presidency, which is an absolute lie. Why is it a lie? Because for every arrest, there were 15, 20, 100 more coming in behind that one guy.
Yeah.
The flood has not stopped. There's 1 million headed this way right now.
Well, first of all, I get a lot of scuttlebutt from the Border Patrol guys because a lot of them are former military guys.
No.
And there's a whole mountain of these guys putting in their packet to retire.
Yeah.
And they're actually thinking they're going to stay and help unfuck this whole thing. And I hope they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is news. Say more.
Well, I mean, it's just like in the military after they started all this woke horse shit.
Yeah.
All of these people with 20 years or more drop their packet. Full bird colonel's really not important to me. I'm out as lieutenant colonel. Big deal. Yeah. E7s. Yeah, I wanted to make sergeant major, but this gay nastics is so bad. I'm pulling the ejection cord.
I couldn't have done it. I would have been. I'd have been something, probably court-martialed.
Yeah, but
I would not have been able to take that.
But listen, like it's the same thing in Border Patrol. A lot of those guys are like, this is going down a crazy road. A lot of them were given orders to do nothing. You're literally getting paid by the government to do a certain job.
I don't even understand that.
And then the government tells you to do nothing.
How is that a thing?
Exactly. But that's bad for morale.
Yeah, it's like really, really bad for morale.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are like, I'm retiring. Fuck it. This is stupid.
So I personally think here's what's going to happen with the incoming administration, assuming he gets to take power, because there's all kinds of other stuff in the background going on.
Yeah.
I think that the unelected bureaucracy will continue to interfere, and
it's going to take more than 4 years to weed those guys out.
They will slow it.
Mm-hmm.
We will actually see some deportations, and then it will be business as usual. Unfortunately, I'm really afraid that that's the case. This is not unprecedented, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When is the last time this happened? Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Managed to reach the mute button in time.
All right.
Operation Wetback under Dwight Eisenhower.
Oh.
That's what it was called.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Dwight Eisenhower rounded up the hundreds of thousands of illegal Mexicans and escorted them back to their homeland. But that was in the 1950s.
Yeah.
When things were a little different. and we were a little more inclined to use force if we had to.
You know what? I'm going to be honest, and we might have to go back to some of that because we are where we are because of bureaucracy.
There is no mandate anywhere to be nice, and I'm
Nope.
tired of pretending that there is. Do I want to be violent? No.
Yeah.
But you've left me no choice.
Correct. But
Violence
here's the
is the
thing.
last resort. Guess what? We're at last resort. I'm sorry.
They spent 4 years building this problem, and we're going to have to fix it.
Oh, no.
And then
It's
they're
been
gonna-
a lot more than 4 years. This
Well,
dates back to Obama.
I'm just talking the past 4 years.
Okay.
And then we're going to be fixing it. And the whole time, the people who made this possible are going to be slinging mud and criticizing us for cleaning up the mess that they made.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I got that correct.
No, you're correct. You're 110% correct.
All right. So I'm over the target.
Yeah.
You know, incendiary bombs are turning it into Regensburg, firestorm from hell. All right, good.
My, what a lovely notion. One last arc light strike. Anybody know about the arc light program, the B-52s?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
The reason we lost that war is we stopped doing it.
Yes.
Sorry. That's
also
another show.
Oh, man. Is that ever another show? We could do that one.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that one. Trump also plans to nominate South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to become Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Noem, whose Midwestern home state is closer to Canada than Mexico, took a hardline stance on illegal immigration, made several trips in recent years to the Mexico border, which she called a war zone. It is a war zone. The cartels have declared it a war zone.
Yep.
The cartels have actually declared it a war zone. Trump's aggressive agenda will likely encounter legal challenges from states governed by Democrats, assorted other non-governmental organizations that have no authority, and why we pay attention to any of them, I do not know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's like the red pill on the ADL list. MGTOW red pill creators are all over that list now.
On ADL's list?
Mm-hmm.
That's a badge of honor.
I mean, all we're doing is telling men to do an about face and not give the current civilization your tax or your attention.
Yeah.
And now we're like being labeled as hate mongers.
Okay. I'm fine. At this point, I'm fine with that. I'm done with trying to please anybody.
That's right.
I'm done with trying to. I know it needs to be done.
Well, you and I are at the old gristled veteran stage of our lives. So,
what was the bullshit one?
Consult
the list.
All right.
Consult the list.
The list of the old gristled veteran is
this is good. Listen to this shit.
Diminishing bullshit timer. When you're young, that timer will go for months, years. But the older you get, it really gets down to like 30 seconds to a minute. And you better lead with your point and support your point and be done in time, or we literally just say, fuck you, we're done. That's what happens with the bullshit timer.
Space Ghost.
That's right. You're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, our bullshit timers are very sensitive these days. So a feeling of dread is spreading across federal workforce as second Trump term looms. On top of the deportation of illegal immigrants, this one I'm hoping actually happens. I'd love to see the deportation of thousands of illegal federal workers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I said illegal federal workers. Most of the agencies in the federal government today, to the tune of close to 92%, are not constitutional organizations. Department of Energy, Department of Education, Homeland Security.
So you're saying they
FBI.
were pencil whipped into existence?
They were pencil whipped into existence, and they need to be removed. And they shit more bureaucracies daily.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those big ones will create other little bureaucracies. That's where all these regulations come from. All of the regulations we have on farming and food and all of that stuff, none of that is law. We don't really have to obey any of that. But they enforce it by fear. I mean, they went after an Amish farmer. The Amish have been selling food in the United States of America since before there was a United States of America.
Correct.
They know what they're doing. They've lived the same way the whole time. Yes, they have some inbreeding problems and they've got some dentition problems. But that's because they refuse any modern anything, and there's only a few of them, and you can only
There's actually quite a few of them. There's a lot up there in Michigan.
Yeah, I know, but they've got a cousin fucking problem.
Yeah, you're right.
It's documented. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You are
I
correct.
don't mean to put it that way, but they have a cousin fucking problem.
Well, uglies will bump.
It was.
These things happen.
Feeling of dread spreads across federal workforce. Much of the federal workforce is on the edge, embracing for itself for the likelihood that ranks will be purged when President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Your ranks should be purged. You are scum. Quit now. Go find a nice job at McDonald's. Kamala Harris got one. You can too. Oh, wait. She never did that. But Trump did. That was great. That was a great troll.
Oh, yeah.
Trump, who has derided civil servants as agents of the deep state, they are, promised on the campaign trail to reinstate a 2020 executive order known as Schedule F, giving him the power to commence mass firings. He's always had those powers because it was created by executive order. Of nonpartisan federal employees who might spoil Trump's partisan plan. They are the partisan force within the government. They are the fifth column. They are actively working against the best interests of the United States of America.
Correct.
All you have to do is read the Federal Register to know this. Oh, wait, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of pages long by design so that you can never find anything that they're using to hold over your head to force you to pay ridiculous taxes, take your land, take your inheritance, and
Your freedom.
basically take your freedom, monitor you. I went to get a new phone yesterday.
Yeah.
They had to scan my government ID in order to do business with me.
Wow.
Why does AT&T need to scan my government ID, and where is that data going, and what are you doing with it?
I smell a lawsuit there.
Yeah. Anyway, the objective is to create space and put loyalists in what still are career civil service positions. There should be no such thing as a career civil service position.
Stand by.
Yeah, standing by.
Do we need civil servants? Yes, in my opinion. Do we need as
Make
many?
your case. No, why do we need civil servants?
Let's be honest.
Okay.
There's a lot of shit that goes on in those government areas or what have you that you need people to push paperwork for. I'm cool with that to a certain degree.
Okay.
But when you give paperwork pushers an insane amount of power that they didn't get by being elected, that's where I have a problem.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
They shouldn't exist beyond the level of clerk.
I can, okay.
The federal government was designed to be small.
But it's not small anymore.
It has taken power that it does not have, and we have done nothing about it.
And what's that word? Well, we always say military stuff as it's mission
creep?
Mission creep, that's
Mission
it.
creep, that's the word right there.
We've had mission creep going on in this country for over 200 years.
Yes.
And we have to roll some of it back because it is out of hand.
Yeah.
Like
the
we're
Bolshevik
literally
incursion doesn't help either.
Well, we're literally killing our own opportunities with all of this over-regulation, all of the supermodel, regulations.
All of our industry has been removed from the United States. It is by design.
Correct.
It's been moved to countries where the people are more compliant and will do as they're told.
And that needs to be fixed because
there's no such thing as innovation anymore.
Well, here's the thing. We're not going to deal with the homelessness problem if you can't give these people jobs.
Yes.
And all of those jobs are now overseas.
Yes.
And the past 60, 70 years since the end of World War II, all of the administrations on the right and left have shipped jobs outside the country. It's about time we actually keep a scoreboard and okay, well, in this quarter, X amount of jobs left this country. What the fuck is going on?
Yep.
Why are you not bringing jobs here into this country? And if you can't answer those questions, get the fuck out of the way and let somebody in here who can.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris and her ilk didn't have the answers at all.
Yeah.
And that's why they literally got their asses kicked so hard. They're walking around today with hats of their own asses on their heads.
Ass hattery.
They're ass hattery.
Ass hattery. A couple of things that I say all the time. First of all, politicians aren't. They're public representatives. They're the hired help. We need to start treating them like the hired help that they are. For the slow kids in the back of the classroom who don't understand how this country was designed to work, and yes, I still believe that there's a way to make this country work, But we have to put our foot down, and we're probably going to have to enforce some dirt
compliance.
Dirt compliance. We're probably going to have to enforce some dirt compliance. Look, the country is basically 50 small mafia families. That's the state. The federal government was meant to be the concierge. He's the guy who answers the door, in other words, international relations, and resolves disputes between the individual families. Okay, that's what the federal government is for. The federal government was never meant to rule over this country. It's supposed to be run by the 50 mafia families. That's how this country is supposed to work.
But that's called a republic, right?
That's a federal republic.
Yes.
That's what a federal republic is supposed to be.
Who knew? Yeah.
Federal government is supposed to be a small concierge service, and we need to treat them like the bitches that they are.
That's another thing that bothers me about the left, is they sit there and look you in the face and go, we have to protect our democracy.
We don't have a democracy. I don't want a democracy.
But they are defending installing a dictator-in-chief who's mentally incapable for doing the job from the get-go. And then installing,
my brain is hearing you say Stalin over and over again.
Kamala Harris, vaginal neck.
Yeah.
She got Vagimek, yeah. How many delegates did she actually get when she ran? What, 0?
In 2020?
I think it's 0, right?
I believe it was 0.
Yeah, I think 0.
Right, which is why they had to install her this time around, because there's no way she would have passed muster.
But the thing is they went against their own democratic, rules and regulations with their own party to make that happen. So for them to sit there and look the country in the face and go, well, we're just trying to protect democracy. They are so full of shit. All of their eyes are brown.
It's first of all, democracy is a joke that only works in extremely small environments. Socialism can even work in an extremely small environment, but a socialist collective, like if you have a farm, you can run that in a socialist manner. You could run that as socialism, but it requires a host country with a functioning economy. If you don't have that host country with the functioning economy, that socialist farm cannot operate.
Starvation.
Bingo. How do we know this? The first colony in America, Roanoke. They all starved to death.
Starvation.
Because they tried socialism. They tried basically a form of egalitarian, very Bible-based Christian socialism, and they all fucking starved to death.
Yep. At least that's what they say. Who knows?
No, it's recorded. It is well recorded.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how we know about it. Now, Croatoan, the colony that disappeared, nobody knows what happened to that. But the very first colony in the United States, it wasn't Jamestown. It was one before that.
I don't know.
I don't remember the name of it myself right now. Now I got to go look it up. History lesson incoming.
Yes.
They tried this egalitarian Christian socialism, and it failed, and they died because they starved to death.
And we didn't learn our lesson.
Yes.
And they did it again starting in 1901.
Yep.
And look where we are today.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Anyway, Trump wants to hose out the government.
Quick announcement. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been radically demonetized to the point of hilariousness. And every bit you send us keeps this show rolling along. So please help a couple old vets out. We just finished Veterans Day. And everyone who sent me an email or a text, for thanking me for being a veteran. Thank you for the appreciation. I greatly appreciate it. But there's a lot of veterans out there who are living in the street or are no longer with us because circumstances were so dire that they decided to take the permanent solution, which I don't approve of, but I understand. There you go.
Yeah, true story, man. Veterans Day. I was young and I needed the money. I literally woke up bored one morning. That's how I ended up in the United States.
No,
I woke up bored.
I knew I had to go into the Army, especially when the recruiter looked at me and said, Pop, how long are we going to play this cat and mouse game? Because you and I know there's no scholarships for a white boy with a 2.51 GPA.
You were also freaking, what was the movie, The Minority Report, where they could do pre-crime? You were go to war or go to jail,
yes.
But like the pre-crime version.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And I needed to go.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I would have went to prison or I'd be dead or both.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what would have happened to me, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been all that great.
No. At best, I would have been a fry cook at Denny's.
There you go. I was a waiter at Midnights at Woodward Denny's. Saw a lot of stuff. That was 1987.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trump wants to shut down the Department of Education. Thank God it's about time.
All right, let's just get this
seriously.
straight.
Yep.
When did the Department of Education actually get
Under
cooked
Jimmy
up?
Carter, 1976, I believe, along with the Department of Energy.
Now, if you
which
look at
also
the
did not-
statistics since they came into existence, has the reading and math levels ever risen?
We went from number 1 in the world to number 24.
Correct.
When I was a boy, I went to Shelby when I was young, like grade school and junior high. We still had classical education courses. We still had history courses. Dude, I was in algebra by 7th grade, 8th grade. Everybody was. I wasn't special. That was our level of education. We were studying ancient Rome in 2nd and 3rd grade.
Wow.
I remember doing reports on it. And of course, I was a little boy. I was 8, 9 years old, and Roman soldiers and gladiators and stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, it was easy to get us involved in that shit.
Yeah.
But we had a level of education that the kids today don't have. We had civics. In 9th grade, you were required to take civics, and you held.
I took civics in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and then 2 civics classes in high school.
No, we had all of that stuff too. But in 9th grade, you had to have a mock Supreme Court and a mock election for Congress and all of that stuff, and it was intense at a level that doesn't exist today.
No,
in school today, they teach the kids you have a House and a Senate, and that's the Congress, and then you got the president and the
and
Supreme
feelings
Court,
are
and that's it.
reality because
And
you can
feelings
feel
are
like a
reality.
woman and you're a woman. Get the fuck out.
My point is, and I know you would have gone through it as well, but my point is the education level today is pathetic compared to what we had then.
Yeah, and
Reading levels. I was reading Edgar Allan Poe by the time I was 6.
it needs to get fixed. This is, and one of the main things that's screwing this country, and I've said it I don't know how many times, is the amount of single mothers.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Because once, especially if she has children who are male, because once they get around the age of 10, they really can't control them anymore. And if they don't want to learn at school and they don't want to do their homework, they're not going to do it. How do I know this? I was one of those juvenile delinquents. I didn't take my education serious until I got done with the Army. Or I got out of the Army when I was
That
22.
didn't happen to me until I was 13, but when it happened at 13, when single motherdom appeared on my horizon, yeah, all bets were off.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
Yeah, I remember in Ranger School, Florida phase, I literally just got done shitting myself because I had dysentery.
Yes.
And I was just all kinds of fucked up miserable. All right. And I'm literally walking along and I'm like, I can't do this for 30 years. You need to go to school. And that was it. I was like, yeah, I think at some point I'm going to college. Okay.
When did that happen? Like 18 years after that moment?
No, actually, I started when I got off active duty. I went to 12th Group Special Forces, and then they sent me to the Q. And as soon as I got back, I enrolled in OCC, and I finished it in like 3.5, 4 years.
12th Group had an element here?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Is that what you're doing at Selfridge?
Yeah. They literally converted my active duty Special Forces contract to Army Reserve because of their downsizing.
Oh.
And they're like, hey, there's a Special Forces group right by your home of record, and you can go to college.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. I'll do this.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Fuck you. You got like all the perks, dude. You were close to home. You were with group. You were going to college.
Yeah.
I was upset.
And I was banging a prime piece of Mexican quim the entire time I was in college.
A prime piece of Mexican quim.
Yes.
Whew, lad.
And she did not chase me with a bat full of gutter nails.
You're very lucky you know that, right?
Yeah. She was venomous, don't get me wrong.
You're very lucky you know that, right?
Yeah.
Once they attach to you,
it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are not going to give up until they are dead or you manage to disappear somehow.
Yeah, I dodged that one.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
Sorry about that, gentlemen.
That's okay. We're going down a rabbit hole here. Trump wants to shut down the Department of Education. Here's what that could mean. President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to abolish the Department of Education. Good. It doesn't belong there anyway. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to this. We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education. We will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your taxpayer dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing. 1979, President Carter signed legislation making the Department of Education a cabinet-level agency. There you go. President Trump can undo it. It was done by a presidential pen. It can be undone.
Correct.
By a presidential pen. That's how that works.
Pencil whipped in, pencil whipped out.
That is correct. Previously, federal education programs are housed in other agencies. Trump has not said exactly how we want to shut the department down, which would require an act of Congress. No, it doesn't. Or what would happen to federally funded education programs if he did? Look, there should be no federal funding of our schools, first of all. Okay? One of the things that's happened with the Department of Education, a lot of people don't understand this, is the bloat above the teacher level. All of the administrations, all of the special organizations, all of the special boards of this, that, and the other for education above the teachers. The teachers are getting shit pay because you've got all of these people from the Department of Education who are drawing freaking 7-figure salaries in some cases.
Yep.
To do what? To sit in a board in the Outer Banks in North Carolina, sipping fruity drinks with umbrellas and going, we'll just put this book in the system, it'll be fine.
Well, have you
Making
ever
these decisions for your kids?
Have you ever read up on any of the corruption in the Wayne County School District?
Not Wayne County in particular, but I have
Detroit
been around
City?
it.
Detroit City?
Yeah.
Holy smoking Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
They actually...
Cass used to be one of the best high schools in the country.
I know. But the thing is the Detroit students per capita get more tax money for education than any other city in the state.
Yeah.
And they can barely, graduate a class of seniors with more than a dozen people who can read and write at college, at high school level.
The primary population for the law firm that I work at comes from the lower west side of Detroit. I see these people day in and day out. Most of them cannot write.
Yep.
Most of them cannot process more than a simple concept. If you try to explain an elaborate legal situation to them, they're stumped. You have to break it down Barney style in little tiny chunks.
So you have to grunt speak it.
That they can see. It's beyond grunt speak.
Oh, that's bad.
It's beyond. There's 2 grunts in that damn office. Okay, I'm grunting Jason, but the other guy in the office is a freaking 0311.
Yeah, there you go.
And he can understand this shit, and he's got to explain it to these people. Okay, so when you've got a Marine grunt who has to explain something to you in little tiny details, you're kind of dumb.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Previously, federal education programs are housed in other agencies. Here's what the Department of Education does and how eliminating it could play out. Funneling money to states and schools. Yes, funneling money to states and schools. Money that's your taxpayer money that they shouldn't have their hands on to begin with. Some of the Department of Education's biggest jobs are to administer federal funding appropriated by Congress to K-12 schools and manage the federal student loan and financial aid programs, which shouldn't exist, and which is why college now costs $400,000 in some cases, where it used to cost $5,000. You know what a Harvard education used to cost? $2,000.
Wow.
I have
So
books
what you're
from
telling me,
Harvard.
what you're telling me is when the government shows up to fix a problem, it just gets more expensive.
Snowballs like a hooker at a football game.
Yeah.
Snowballs everywhere.
That's nasty, but true.
I wanted to be graphic so everybody got the point there. These programs help fulfill the department's congressionally declared purpose of ensuring access to equal educational opportunity for every individual, which has categorically failed, as we just pointed out. All of our inner cities. Philadelphia was the other one. It was in the news the other day. They graduated 3 classes from the major schools in Philadelphia. None of them were above a 4th grade level.
Wow.
Not a single student was above a 4th grade level.
Oh, that's rough. But the thing
It's
is,
Department of Education.
Okay, we can blame it on the Department of Education, but at the end of the day,
Federal interference.
if they
call
come
it
from
what-
a broken home,
Yeah.
they're going to get sucked into the street life. They're going to look for, having fun, not paying attention to shit, and then they're going to wind up functional idiots when they're adults.
Yeah.
And that never ends well.
No. Usually it ends in lots of automobile accidents and prison sentences. We had a guy this past summer he was legitimately in an accident. It was legitimately not his fault. Somebody else hit him. He was totally not at fault for the accident. The very next day, the cops kicked in the door of his house, and he is now a guest of the Gray Bar Hotel for dope.
There you go.
And he had one of those truly rare cases where he was made.
Mm-hmm.
If he had just behaved himself for 24 hours, he was going to have like a couple of $100,000.
Yeah, now he's in jail.
Yeah, now he's in jail. And the case was dropped.
That sucks.
I'm sorry. You made a bad choice.
Yeah,
What do you want me to say there?
I know.
How do you want me to call that one?
I know. Let's move along.
I am moving it along. I decided to make it interesting this evening by trolling a couple of foreign websites.
Oh, yes.
Now, here's the thing. Everybody knows in the U.S. that everything is anti-Trump and all the women are shaving their heads because they're not allowed to kill their babies anymore, and fuck your egg prices, and why would you want cheap gas anyway? Meanwhile, the French, of course, are la procédure visant Donald Trump dans le faire stormer dans le suspendu une semaine, which means basically that the French are only interested in the salacious report about Trump and the sex worker. Because that's the French for you.
Yeah, and you know what? Did he actually bang the sex worker?
I don't know. Look at her. I wouldn't know.
Listen.
Also, who cares?
I know.
Who can look at the body counts in Hollywood, for Christ's sake?
I know, but men just make stupid decisions sometimes.
Yes.
We've all been there and thrown our dick on the crap shoot of VD when we were younger. I wouldn't dare do that today, but whoo. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I'm not going to go through this whole thing here because nobody wants to hear me just read French. The basic summary of it is the judge in New York State has suspended all of the actions against President Trump for the foreseeable future because of Trump's pending presidency.
All right. Let's just, everyone, let us know in the comments. Do you want to see justice or do you want to see some glorious retribution?
I'm all for glorious retribution.
Just let us know in the comments. Put justice or retribution. Go. And hit the like button, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, smash that like button. What's wrong with you? 2 picks for Trump's team signal a harder line on China and Iran and U.S. withdrawal from Europe. Now, this is Sky News, which is England. Actually, the UK, I believe.
UCA?
UCA.
I have no respect for UCA
any longer. No respect for UCA any longer. London isn't even English. It's not even an English city anymore.
Look,
literally,
Irish, love them. Scottish, they're okay.
Yeah.
UCA as a whole can smurf my balls.
Yeah. London is less than 30% English now, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's one big stab fest.
Yeah. Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, is widely tipped in U.S. media reports as the president-elect's choice for Secretary of State, while Michael Waltz, a Republican congressman and former Special Forces soldier, will be Trump's new top security advisor. Why is the United Kingdom interested in this? Well, it affects their operations in Europe and their ability to project power and their...
Now, let's just talk about the UN here.
Free Gibbs from the United States, frankly.
All right. The UN. America has been bankrolling the United Nations since the end of World War II.
Yes.
And we've been the police force for the world, basically, since the end of World War II. And the UN has basically stabbed the United States in the back They keep trying to disarm our population, turn us into a bunch of servient pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And it's about time we just pull our funding from the UN and let them leave them to their own devices. Because I'm sick and tired of their horse shit.
Oh, what button am I trying to push here? Jimmy, where are you?
He's running behind.
How much of the UN budget does the United States pay? Do you know? I happen to
Not
know.
off the top of my head.
80%.
Wow. That much. Yeah. Why?
Most of the member nations do not pay their dues because they know that the United States.
Yeah. And here's another thing. Why are we sending billions of dollars to various countries all over the world? That needs to immediately stop. And we need to stop funding the UN because all they really want to do is stab us in the fucking back.
If you want to see how ugly it really is, the website is Foreign Assistance, all one word, foreignassistance.gov.
Okay.
It shows all of the money that we kick to other countries for no reason at all.
Tuesday's show, foreignassistance.gov, and we'll rip it apart.
Oh, you want to do that next week?
Why not?
Okay.
We want to see where the money's going, don't you?
Okay. Yeah, no, sure. I'm down for that. Are you guys down for that?
Yeah, let us
That
know in the
sound good?
comments. I'm all about dissecting this bullshit because guess what? Your money is getting siphoned out of the funds and you don't know where it's fucking going and nobody really has to say in what's going on except for the people at the top.
Basically, the federal government has become a bunch of freaking Mexican illegal workers because what those guys do is they come over here, they work, and they send all of their money home.
Amen. There you go.
All they're doing is siphoning your money out of the country.
I am detecting
that is part of inflation.
That's a thumbnail for next Tuesday.
Write that down and make sure to send that to me because you know I will go brain fucking dead by tomorrow morning. Unless you send it to me. My thinking meat does not retain short term anymore.
Yeah, I have to write stuff down.
Yeah, me too.
I'm oldie.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got like 3 logbooks. Sometimes I'll forget one of them and I have to go find it. And I find out that I haven't put anything in it in like a month. I'm like, damn it.
But
my
God. I think that would be a really good show. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it. So Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, is widely tipped in U.S. media reports as the president-elect choice for his top diplomat. Those is yet to be confirmed. It is also being reported that Michael Waltz, a Republican congressman and former Special Forces soldier, will be Mr. Trump's new top security advisor.
No, this isn't the former the guy who was running for vice president, is it?
No,
it's a different Waltz.
That's Waltz. This is Waltz.
Because I'm a dyslexicist.
It's not him.
All right, good.
The one who was running picked for vice president didn't even make sergeant major and was like a mechanic or something like that.
He was a master sergeant.
This guy was an operator.
Yeah.
And this guy was an 18 series.
And you and I know, for you to go from a master sergeant without a diamond into the sergeant major ranks, let alone the sergeant major ranks, or the command sergeant major ranks, you know that dude's throat goat operations were on point.
Yeah.
Because you have to be one hell of an ass kiss and dick sucker to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just a fact.
Especially if you're a non-combat, you've never seen combat.
Yeah.
I can understand if you have a first sergeant and, he kicked ass, take names. He's got a bunch of the been there, done that awards. And you're like, well, we need a sergeant major. That's him.
Yep.
I totally behind that.
Yep.
But a master sergeant, fuck off.
I probably would have never made sergeant major because at that time, I had never made it into an actual box.
No, I fell on my sword. That's why I never made sergeant.
So, well, that's why you fell on your sword.
I literally.
But the track that I was on, I had staff, I had army level staff, I had tactical, I had 2 tactical, and then I had joint combined with task force. So that's a good stack of assignments. I probably would have made it to master sergeant.
No, I literally was told
never sergeant major
to my face in formation at the DC 100-year Army Reserve reenlistment event.
Yeah,
he looked me in the face and goes, "You're never going to make sergeant major."
What did you say to him?
And I'm at parade rest, and I just said, "Worth it." And he just walked off.
Beautiful.
Fuck that guy.
So both men here are seen as foreign policy hawks who regard Beijing as the biggest threat to the United States and would like to see more U.S. resources redirected from Europe to the Asia Pacific. Here is where the worm turns and why the British papers have this. if America starts to pull out of Europe, where we've been for the last 80 years, and there's really no reason for us to be there anymore at all for any reason, except for maybe training exercises every now and then for nostalgia purposes. This is what Europe and the EU and the UK are most worried about, is the United States finally going, it's been a fun 80 years, but maybe we should go now.
I'm totally cool with that.
This era of projection of force capability, there is no reason for us to maintain any overseas bases, in my opinion.
Do I think we need as many as we have? Hell no. Do we need a few?
Have no idea how many we have.
We have so many.
Most people have no idea how many we have.
That's another show.
It is another show. We mentioned this in passing when we were talking about some of the shit that NSA was up to, and they mentioned the place in Algeria that I went to. I'm like, that's not supposed to be in the newspaper.
I know North Africa is full of bases now.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't believe that it was actually in the paper. I was like,
well, I get an email or two. Well, I get an email or two from some guys who were in what's that new USMC Tier 1? Is it MARSOC?
MARSOC, yep.
Yeah, they're operating in North.
They recruited a couple of guys from us.
Yeah, they're operating in North Africa. So are in Navy SEALs are doing stuff.
They're working with Foreign Legion then.
Yeah,
probably.
And I know the regiment has sent units there as well. What they do, I'm not read in on their operations. I just the rumor mill is Northern Africa.
I saw everywhere I went with anything like a task force, if there were Rangers present, it meant that CAG was operating in the area.
That's exactly always, because even when I was in, they always called the Rangers to be outer cordon security Fort Delta or CAG, whatever you want to call
whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
So neither of the men support an open-ended commitment by Washington to provide weapons and money to the Ukraine, their pet project to fight Russia's war, favoring instead a deal with Vladimir Putin. Ukraine is a money laundering facility. We've seen this. It's also a chemical weapons lab. We have also seen this. Okay? That's what's going on. That's why Ukraine is so important to these people. Before about 5 years ago, how much did you know about Ukraine other than the fact that it existed?
They were the breadbasket of Europe. They used to have nuclear weapons that they surrendered under the promise that we would protect them from Russia. And that's about it.
You know more than the average person. I would bet you if I walked...
Oh, no, and they have hot women. They had hot women.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I learned when I went to university overseas and was in some classes, I discovered that we had been lied to by Wendy's commercials in the 1980s.
Really? No.
There were two girls from Bulgaria in one of my classes who changed my perspective of that part of the world significantly.
What, they little Debbie'd you?
No. I did not participate. I did not partake. But they were in my class, and they clearly were not large, roomy women wearing drab gray dresses.
No,
at all by any stretch of
the there's not a lot of fat women there. At least there used to be.
No.
Who knows today?
No. Anyway, there we go down the rabbit hole.
Sorry, we keep going on. Stop it. Bad.
Anyway, this is their Ukraine is their money laundering device. If I walked up to the average person on the street today, they couldn't point to Ukraine on a map.
Yeah,
they couldn't. They barely can say the president's name there. The little dwarf guy thing,
the comedian.
Dude, he literally was a comedian on a TV show.
Yeah.
I remember when he ran for president, I was like, ha, 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 that's really funny. The guy from TV show got elected president of Ukraine.
And are we laughing now?
No, we're not laughing anymore.
Now, don't get me wrong.
So this is the UK's perspective on what's going on in America. They're very upset that we might pull out of Ukraine. They're very upset that we might find peace with Russia. They're very upset that we might pull out of Europe and pull our assets there and refocus on China, which we should be doing.
Listen, I like Russia.
I don't have any problem with them.
I don't have a problem with Ukraine.
I don't feel any particular way about Russia.
No.
I am ambivalent.
Yeah. Same here.
And I don't know why this is all of a sudden a thing. I thought we were done with the whole Russia thing, wasn't it?
I didn't even hate Russia when it was the USSR.
Yeah.
I was like, they're worthy adversaries. That's how I, okay.
Yeah. The submarine stories were
Fucking awesome.
Dude, I met some of the old sub guys. The stories.
All right, move along. We can
Moving
do a whole
along.
show on
Sorry.
that.
My bad. So, next tab, who's on Trump's short list for Attorney General? This is a big one.
Yeah.
Because obviously Merrick Garland is a problem. Why they posted this picture of this chick with her freaking fly trap open like that, I don't know. Oh, I see. That's just where the news thing paused. Attorney General Mike Lee, Ken Paxton, and Matthew Whitaker. I have no idea who Mike Lee or Matthew Whitaker are.
Hang on.
Vaguely know of Ken Paxton.
That picture of the reporter is literally the last, microseconds before she receives a facial. I'm just saying. That picture looks like it's from the one eye.
Anyway, carrying on.
Come on, I have to throw some humor in there.
That's fine. President-elect Donald Trump has wasted little time in naming top White House and cabinet officials. He just named, who was it? Hang on. I have to consult my side brain here really fast.
Well, I know the
Pete Hegseth was just nominated for Secretary of Defense.
Okay.
Who
the hell's that guy?
Okay, wait, watch this. Pete Hegseth is 44 years old.
Uh-huh.
He was a major in the Minnesota National Guard. That's it. That's his military experience.
That's it?
Major in the Minnesota National Guard. Tim Waltz, Harris's running mate, was also in the Minnesota National Guard.
Huh.
Pete Hegseth went to Princeton and Harvard, which means he's been to the correct schools. I'm smelling WEF all over him. I'm sorry, I am.
So you're saying it's a fondalization going on?
I believe there may be some fondalization
There may
going
be
on.
some of this going on under the table?
As a major in the National Guard, and I've dealt with a lot of them because I worked at an Army level unit where Army level civil affairs is basically just politics while wearing BDUs. So we would get officers from units all over the United States and other places. And my job as the NCOIC ops was reception, staging, onward movement, and integration.
Training.
They'd come in and I'd brief them up, and it'd be 3 days of briefings, and here's your shit, and okay, you 3 guys need a PT test, and then I'd move them to where they were going to go to liaise with Korean officers. Sorry, it's a good word though. Anyway, without exception, the most useless ranks in the National Guard civil affairs units, in my experience, were sergeant major and major.
I can agree with that.
Because they were basically just apparatchiks. They didn't serve a real purpose.
No.
And they had enough rank that they could make your life shitty.
All right, hang on. Let's just be honest. Most of the officers I served with in the civil affairs were cast-off officers, meaning they did not act and play well with others.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing in some cases and a bad thing in others. But most of the guys I got, once I found out that they didn't act and play well with others, I was cool. I'm like, all right, I can work with that.
Yeah.
Your heart's in the right place. I can work with that.
The reserve officers that we got for civil affairs at that level were a pain in the ass. Active duty civil affairs officers were usually fairly squared away because they had all the training and they did the mission on a daily.
But here's the thing. We're moving a guy from the National Guard with no actual experience, with a shitty ass level of rank, into one of the highest positions there is within this particular cabinet.
He's one below the president.
I am going to say that is a huge fucking mistake. But hey, I'm just an old first sergeant. Don't listen to me.
What I want to know is, who did you blow, Major Hegseth?
Yeah. All right, move along. Let's go.
Early contenders for the post include sitting U.S. senators, former Justice Department personnel, and at least one top White House advisor from Trump's first term. Let's see here. Senator Mike Lee of Utah. Let's look at the candidates here real quick. Is considered a more conventional pick to head up the Justice Department. Lee is a high-ranking Republican in the chamber, but he may not be gunning for the role. The Utah Republican told reporters last week he has been in frequent conversations with Trump's transition team. He plans to focus his sway in the Republican majority Senate. I have the job that I want, he said. John Ratcliffe.
Well, hang on.
Well, I want people to get a general idea of the three players.
Do you think he's picking these people because he just doesn't have enough people? Because he's got to pick a lot of individuals. And last time he picked people that, everyone's like, oh, he'll be fine. And they wound up, stabbing him in the fucking back.
Again, Trump is basically a general officer. General officers don't even get to tie their shoes without their staff telling them what color shoelaces to wear that morning.
Correct.
The notion that these guys operate autonomously is bizarre. Okay? Anytime you've got somebody at the level of leadership of a Trump or any CEO for that matter, and that includes general officers and senior politicians, they have a staff that controls everything that they see, hear, and do. All of it is all controlled by these staffs. So there's a very good chance that Trump's staff is coming to him with short lists of people that those staff members think are going to get them their next ticket punch.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stranger things in the officer ranks, so I can't put that by him.
Yeah, it's ticket punching. I saw the big one was lieutenant colonels.
Yeah.
The big one was lieutenant colonels. They were fucking ticket punchers like crazy because they're trying to get that eagle. Yeah. General officer rank, you pretty much have to be in the boys club or whatever club it is that produces the star.
First of all, I'm not a fan of officers in general, and
I know I'm just describing
way less
the process.
fan of general officers.
Just describing the process.
Okay, I got you.
Only describing the process. So that's Senator Mike Lee. He doesn't appear to want it. He's from Utah. He wants to be really influential in the new Senate steering committees. John Ratcliffe is a former director of national intelligence. He's among the top names being considered to head the Justice Department. He's a former federal prosecutor and a former representative from Texas. Earned the spotlight during Trump's first term for his outspoken criticism of the FBI, which should be disbanded. The FBI should be disbanded. All of you guys on the fourth floor that work underneath me, I'm going to continue to harass you, and there's nothing you can do about it because I know how to harass you properly. Ratcliffe, a former federal prosecutor and a former representative from Texas, earned the spotlight during Trump's first term for his outspoken criticism of the FBI. Trump tapped Ratcliffe in 2019 to replace Dan Coates as the director of national intelligence. DNI is a pretty high-level position. Many of the reports that one of the units I worked at went right to DNI. Those guys could move stuff around. In the movies where they're like, reroute this satellite, DNI has the power.
They can do that.
DNI will reroute a satellite. Next in line is Mark Paletta. I don't know who this is. Former White House attorney, Mark Paletta served during Trump's first term as counsel to then Vice President Mike Pence and to the Office of Management and Budget. Paletta is already working on the Trump transition team, helping to steer Justice Department policy in the next Trump administration, making him a potentially natural fit for the role. Mr. Trump, sir, why do you have one of the attorneys from Mike Pence's team in your camp at all? I would purge any Pencean persons completely. Just get them out of there. That's ridiculous. What are you doing? Why do you have anybody from the Pence team in there?
He was such a huge disappointment.
Holy crap.
Speaking of disappointments.
What? Oh, Jimmy Bones. Thank God. I've been fucking up so badly with the screens.
I got stuck behind a train on my way back from work, so apologies for that, gentlemen.
I have to cross 2 train tracks on my way home. I feel you, brother.
All right.
Paletta also made clear on Monday that if tapped to head up the Justice Department, he would not tolerate any resistance to Trump's agenda by career prosecutors and other non-political officials. You mean like you helped Mike Pence do whatever it was that he did? In a lengthy post on social media site Twitter, I don't care, Paletta said that career employees are required to implement the president's plan after an election, appearing to dismiss fears about plans that career staff may regard as illegal or unethical. They're going to interfere anyway. They will drag their feet. They will sandbag. They will stonewall. They will shred material. They'll do anything they can to keep Trump from doing what he's supposed to do as president. If these career DOJ employees won't implement President Trump's program in good faith, they should leave. I agree. It's not going to work that way, though.
No. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, Trump has played this game already, and he did not fare well. He got stabbed in the back. We've already talked about that. And then they did some craziness to get him out of office, which is looking more and more like it was fabricated. And during that 4 years, we got to get a snapshot of what the big government wants for this country. And now he's in for a second term. He's 78. He's not going to have another term. He's all in at this point. And we are going to see some real, hopefully, knock on some wood, we're going to see some horrific political carnage. I want to see that.
I hope so. Look, Marco Rubio has a brother. He's out of Florida. They are of Cuban descent. I started noticing them way back in 2004. And the guy is milquetoast. He rolls over for everything. Marco Rubio doesn't belong anywhere near any of this. He is easily influenced. And this one I want to put up because we're about to get to the super chats. Fetterman hails Rubio as a strong choice for Secretary of State and says he will vote to confirm him. I don't know if Fetterman is trying to ambush Rubio and force him out, or if this is Fetterman being an idiot and saying exactly what I just said, that they can get Rubio to roll over on anything. So please make him Secretary of State so that we can control the Secretary of State position. But Fetterman endorsing anyone, I mean, look at the guy, for God's sake. No, look at him. He's right there, man.
Yeah.
That's a sitting fucking. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Seriously.
All
if
right.
Fetterman is endorsing Rubio, I don't know what to say, but I think I do know what to say here.
Well, let's just be honest. We need new blood up there.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of seeing the same fucking names over and over again.
I said exactly that in a conversation earlier today.
Why is Rubio even still fucking there?
Yep.
He's been there, what, 12 years now?
Because he's easily manipulated. 20
years. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yep.
All right, sorry. I'm starting to get spun up
manipulated. Here. We're getting spun up.
All right, Jimmy, it's time to hit Super Chat.
All right, it's that time. Apologies for being late, guys. Again, that fucking train.
No, we were fine. I fucked everything up, and you took none of the blame.
Winning. Let's see. Over on the YouTube side, we got 967 pairs of eyes with only 541 likes there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
A little less than half there, guys. I have the buttons. Don't make me push them.
Just push the like button hard. I do it whenever I watch anybody's show. I automatically hit the like button.
There you go. First one here comes from Pete. For $9.99 says, my new pronouns are we won. Suck it, commies.
Nice.
There you go. Let's see. Escape the prison colony. He's got $79.99 Australian there, so I believe he gets one of these.
Well,
we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you very much.
Outstanding.
There you go. He says, hey, Pop, long time no see. Just your friendly, evil, hairless monkey from down under. Donating for the beer fund and raising a glass to President Trump. Australia breathes a little easier. God bless you, Blake, and the whole regiment.
Winning.
All day long.
So you got Shark Dentures here with $5. Says, more like 50 war tribes in a trench coat with the defense budget big enough to fight God. Habitual line crosser. One of my favorite lines of his.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got good stuff. See, Aside John, $5 says, close your eyes now and imagine Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell bumping uglies.
No, stop.
I will not do that.
No. Now imagine Nancy Pelosi spread eagle giving birth. You may now throw up. Oh, God.
We need you to stop. Remove this gentleman from the room, please.
All right, where's that? Where's that? Here it is. You sick
Awful
bastard.
Oh.
I don't even think I need to push the button now. Thanks for that image.
Oh.
Bastard.
That's
Mhm.
nasty. All right.
Yes. Frank
Next one.
Rizzo here with 1999 says, "Hoorah!"
Raw.
All right.
And next one, Soul on the Lich with 50 ARS. Not sure what that is. Argentinian?
Yeah, I believe it might be.
Says Kamalala's VP was probably a master in blue falconry. Also, if Trump talks to Putin, you're gonna stay happily retired. Cheers, Mr. Pop.
Yeah, he was known to be a Blue Falcon, actually.
Yes. Well, if you get promoted from Master Sergeant to Command Sergeant Major, you're a Blue Falcon. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, I was not able to grab the Rumble chat, but I do got here starting with Shred Eagle with $50, so he gets one of these.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
He says, "What's up, you chum-chugging Smurf snuffers? Here's some whiskey money that I don't have to spend on some blue-haired 4B broad." Did you guys happen to mention the 4B movement?
Yeah.
No, that was out of scope for the evening, but
It was mentioned in the beginning, and I fucked up
Briefly.
the acronym I was going to use.
that's fine.
Yeah, kind of funny how the people that have been calling us Nazis for the past 4.5 years are now going skinhead.
Yeah.
I saw that comment.
What could go wrong?
There you go. See, Lurs 425 for $1 says there has to be a reckoning.
Yeah, there does need to be a reckoning. There's
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tantalum 180 here with $1 says, "Personally, I wish for the day we can go back to being allied or friendly with Russia like before the Great War. The world would greatly benefit, in my opinion."
They have
I
good
agree.
vodka. Just saying.
I agree. Besides, I want to see St. Petersburg. I genuinely want to see
Yeah.
Petersburg. Anyway, carry on.
See, Anonymous here with $2 says, "Can you play the funny Black Adder clip I sent to your email from Trevor One? Humorously anti-war." Let me jump over there real quick, double check. If it is a YouTube link, we will not be able to play that. But
Yeah, we have to, again, we say this a lot. We have to monitor the videos that come through first time around because sometimes we get Granny Snatch special. And
Yeah, we actually might get dinged for that one we
could
played
get
earlier
dinged.
too.
Oh, Black Adder, yeah, it could be copyrighted.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cause dingage.
yeah, we'll have to pass on that one, but we will keep
We'll
an
watch
eye
it.
out for that.
We'll laugh and we'll send you appreciation, though. How about that?
Yep.
I guarantee you it will get watched because it's a Black Adder. If you didn't know, I want to see it. So
There you go. Let's see. Berserker Brad, 1983. He's dropping $50 on us.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
thank you very much, man.
Says, "Have to punch out early and go to sleep. Is there any talk about what's going to happen to the BATFE? I would really enjoy seeing that agency vanish into nothingness. Thank you for your
Everybody
service."
would like to see
Yes.
ATF
Yeah.
go.
Listen, man. I'm not a fan, guys.
The Bando dropping $1 says, "Jimmy, make sure you get to the early chats this time." Well, I am not here when the stream starts, and I do have the Rumble chat popped up, but it only loads in at a certain point. So,
Oh,
sorry.
If worse comes to worse, I can rotate. I can probably go all the way back on the.
I should be able to as well.
Yeah. I believe it was the first one from Shred Eagle was the first one that I was able to see.
Are you in the Rumbles already?
I am in the Rumbles.
Wow. Okay.
And next one from Mando says, "Pop, what do you think the odds are that Trump plans to resign at the midterms and give Vance a jump start?"
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
Okay.
Hooliganism with $5 says, if I join AA, can Jimmy Bones be my sponsor? I would be a very horrible sponsor.
Yeah. So we got a couple here from MGTOW Mando in the beginning. 3 for $2. Let's see. Land Whales and Twat Waffles, who ignore me anyway, withholding sex for 4 years because I voted Trump. I accept these terms.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Not
no.
Oh no! Threaten me with a good time. Oh shit!
It's literally the Willy Wonka scene. No, stop, come back.
M2 gas.
Dependopotamus is off the menu.
N2 gas for $1. I've heard the 81 million vote has something to do with that motorcycle club that shares the initials HA equals 81.
I don't know.
I have no what that is either.
Let's see, you got Digital Do here. He says, how's your mom, Pop? We care about you both.
She's slowing down, man. I mean, I'm just being a realist here. This is more than likely going to be our last Christmas.
Life is such, man.
Yeah.
Life is such.
See, next one. LB Weaver says, it was mentioned at the beginning and is now and shall ever be bullshit without end. Amen. Any women.
Stop it. That's gay.
Haven't heard that in a while. I had to put it in there for you, Pop. See, alley card. Well, of course you know it. You love it.
Here we go.
Incoming! It's funny every time. Mostly because I get to sit here and watch Pop's face contort.
Let's see. Next one here from Barrett McMusing, $5 says, no matter who's president, nothing gets done in America unless the president's bosses in Jerusalem allow it.
That's got to come to an end.
Yeah, that's got to completely come to an end.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more dual passports. No more
dual citizenship.
No more dual citizenship. No. Nobody in office who is not at least third generation, in my opinion. We've been a country long enough that we don't have to tolerate that shit anymore.
Yeah, that split citizenship shit.
Yeah,
that needs to come to an end.
Yep. I agree with that. And Alley Card coming back says, still squirming from the last stream when I almost made Pop puke.
Things happen, bro.
Yes. And Raging Sailor here with $2 says, Pop, you still have to answer my question from the last stream. What's your favorite mouthwash flavor?
Spearmint.
I remember the flavors that he asked.
Oh, wait, no, stop. Okay, carry on. Next.
Sorry.
Next.
I don't remember
forgot there, didn't you, Battledorf?
Cut away.
Let's see. LB Weaver says, all glories to Sir Singing Pop.
It really creeps me out how my face fits on that almost perfectly.
I don't blame you.
Yep.
It's pretty creepy. The first time I saw it, I'm like, how did they do that?
Let's see. And Cliff3188, he's asking for the dog walker scream. I don't have that button to push, though. That's on the soundboard up there.
I think there are some super chats in the rumbly tumblies that you might have. But did you get the Lurse 425 for $10? We all know this won't end well. They're refusing to leave it, and Democrats are going to do the same crap.
I did not get that one yet.
Okay, there's that one. Yeah, there's a bunch here. Let me get through these, Jimmy, real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
We all know this won't end well. They're refusing to leave, and the Democrats are going to do the same crap they did under Trump's first term and not comply or help sanctuary cities. You need to arrest them. That's Lurse 425.
Yep.
5. Western Citizen sends $3 and says Leviticus 21:14. A widow or divorced woman or a defiled woman or a harlot, these he shall not marry, but he shall take a virgin of his own people as his wife. I mean, 4B 40 to 80 is a long time. Cap and box wine. Anonymous $2 when Pope Francis lectures countries countries about the injustice of walls. Remember, the Vatican City has a big wall which was ironically built to keep out Muslim pirates. That is correct. It's one hell of a wall too.
Yes, it is.
Susan McCarley sends $5 and says they shouldn't exist beyond the level of clerk. We need to recognize them as servants. Yes, I say that all the time. They are public servants. They are the hired fucking help. Treat them like that. Politicians are not to be worshipped. Anonymous sends another $2 and says, John Taylor Gatto's Dumbing Us Down and Weapons of Mass Instruction are good reads about dropping literacy and IQs. Interestingly, used literacy tests from the U.S. military to prove his point. I need to look those up. Brutal Man Life sends $5, says, I want to thank Pop and Scott for your military service to our great nation. Since it is the day after Veterans Day, I truly appreciate it. Who's Scott?
I don't know. Probably you.
It might be me.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I'll take it, though. I was young and I needed the money. Alucard 1776 sends $2 and says, just put ginger into the dehydrator and my layer smells like ginger. Love that smell. Yes, I do that myself. And you're right. It is a great smell. You know what smells even better?
Ginger beer.
Caramelized honey.
Yes.
I know how to make ginger beer. And I've got 3 empty kegs in the basement. But we need to buy an ass load of ginger. I know where to get it, though.
Okay. Side note. Let's move on.
Side note. N2 Gas sends $1, says, Rumble punch that thumbs up. Count Chad the Impaler sends $1 and says, any guess on Trump's body count? I don't know. Mine's at 56. Took me a while to calculate it when girlfriend asked me. 56 includes 2 wives and 4 girlfriends I didn't marry. I thought of that when you mentioned Stormy Daniels. No STDs. Good luck. You are one lucky son of a bitch.
You got a Vada pass.
Because that is running barefoot through the VD landmine field right there, my friend.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Let's see if there are any others. I vaguely remember where. Did you get Shred Eagles one for 50, Jimmy?
Yep, that's the first one that popped up in the chat for me.
We are caught up. Carry on.
All right.
Up there. Okay, we did have a couple more squeezed through here. Alucard come back, says, Pop's special ability is reincarnation. That explains why his face fits on a lot of bodies.
That's so fucked up. All right, whatever.
The bodies of
I'll
children
take it.
in different countries.
There you go. All right, that covers all of the Rumble chats here. We'll jump back over to the YouTube side. We had a couple more come in. Got Rebel Rouser with $10. And I agree with his statement here. He didn't lock her up, didn't build the wall, didn't drain the swamp, banned bump stocks, allowed lockdowns, pushed Operation Warp Speed, hardcore Zionist. Can't say that I'm excited for the next Trump regime.
You are not wrong.
You are not wrong.
You are not wrong. I say often, do not worship politicians.
Yep.
Never worship a man in a suit. It never ends well.
Ooh, never does. And L Snows here. He's got himself a request. He wants.
Green screen abuse, man. 100%.
You couldn't see it, Battledorf, but me and you were doing the exact same dance.
That's funny.
All right, next
That's great. Let's see. You got Jay the cat here with $10 says, I heard that Pelosi wanted Biden to step down earlier so they could have a primary, but he did not want to. Watching the finger pointing on the left is great.
Yes.
The thing is, they are malicious, petty, and vindictive.
Yep.
So they will eat each other just as fast as they'll go after anybody else.
And emphasis on the dick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jay the cat. Oh, no, that's the one I just read here. Yep, that was it. I got
one more on the Rumbles.
Yep, one more on the Rumbles. Let me pull that up. Got hooliganisms. $5. I remember Jimmy's first night. Been a fan since.
That was a good night.
You drink half a bottle of whiskey and no one lets you live it down.
Yeah,
What?
happens. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we got more YouTubes coming in too, Jimmy.
Yep, I saw those. We got Anonymous here with $2 as I sent another link after downloading from YouTube. I hate them anyway, and uploaded to Odyssey.
All right. And we also saw one in there, somebody asking about Jericho Files 3.
Yep.
It's out on Kindle, and it should be out on print on demand shortly.
All right, I'll get it out. God damn. I keep forgetting, honestly. But the electronic version is out.
Yep. And we got a Lankter Man with $5 says people with a security clearance cannot have more than one passport. Same should be true for Congress. Forget dual citizenship for politicians. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And oh god. Well, I didn't want to play it, but well, El Snows is requesting it.
Oh god
Let me
damn.
make sure is it going to be the right? Okay, yep, he wants this one.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah, terrible. Let's see. Looks like we had about 3 more come over on LB Weaver on the Rumbles. We got LB Weaver says, I have this fucking special needs Claude low IQ roommate who insists on watching Batman masturbatorially. Obnoxious Claude.
How do you watch Batman No, do not answer that question. I do not want the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Forget it. I withdraw the question.
Let it go.
I believe he is saying his low IQ roommate. So it is not him, but yeah, that's yeah.
I still don't want an answer to the question.
I don't want. Let's see. Alucard's asking you a Battledorf question. Would you offer a beer to a dogman?
Yes, and if you mean the dogmen, the Comanches, I was actually given a feather and beads by dogmen from the tribe in 1996 during some stuff we were doing. I actually was made an honorary dogman, which I didn't know until like 20 years later, like 15 years later. I was talking to somebody else and they're like, oh, that's like a really big deal. I'm like, I didn't know that. Thought they were just being nice.
All right.
Apparently it's very significant.
All right. Yeah.
They think highly of you if they do that. Anyway, carry on.
And last one here, Mando coming back says malicious, petty, and vindictive. So they're all biatches.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Yep. International House of Whoop Ass came in and says Trump has beat more women than Emhoff.
Damn. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Oh. I love the fact that Trump has beaten 2 women publicly.
Well, things happen.
They happen.
Sean Connery beat some women, and was a huge movie.
Sometimes they just have to be slapped.
Yep. Let's see. We'll jump over to the MGTOW side of things. I did see Crazy Uncle dropped in one here. Let me get the shit fucking loading.
Western Citizen on Rumble sends $1 and says, swimsuit Pelosi again, please. No, you sick bastard.
No. Once is enough.
Yeah, that's just nasty, man.
Maybe
I still have to eat dinner, and I don't want to lose my appetite. Well, while we're waiting for the freaking MGTOW side to load up, well, let's see. What do we got over on DLive? I did not click the button over there. Fucked up. Let's see. Looks like no new lemons over there. Over on the Itchy Twitchy, got 10 folks over there watching. And I did see the numbers over on the Twattersphere. We got 104 over there.
Wow.
Well, earlier we were up to 1,100 on YouTube and over 1,000 on Rumble at one time.
Yes.
So that's really good numbers.
Out freaking standing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
98 views on Twitter at the moment.
Wow, that's the most we've ever had.
Wow. Making progress.
Good. We're growing. Good.
Let's see. First one over here from MGTOW. We got Crazy Uncle here with $10. Says, I found something that's even worse than a feminist. When I was asked to talk in front of the school class for Veterans Day, I had to deal with a feminist teacher, liberal prior Marine.
Ooh.
I feel so bad for her husband, a former Marine himself. FYI, she was so angry that I didn't highlight females. Her eyes were twitching. What the fuck? Over.
Yeah, some of these ladies are just crazy.
Yeah.
They're ruled by emotion, so take your chances when you deal with ladies out there in the real world.
Let's see. Next one we got MGTOW Ronan here with $5. Says, "Hey guys, happy belated Veterans Day, gents. Battledorf, what would it take theoretically for America and Russia to become allies in the future?"
Honestly, I did not work those packets. The Russian packet. I knew rustlings. That's what we called those guys.
I don't know.
But I don't know much beyond their ground order of battle.
Yeah,
So
current
that
politics.
is-
I have no idea.
That's a real serious research project right there. That's like genuinely
Well, I mean, the current
some
Russia
hardcore research.
is literally run like a crime family.
You know, I don't know why everybody cries about that. Well, so fucking what? Does it work for the country? Are the people happy? And is it a prosperous country?
I'm just saying that that might be a problem dealing with them with that government structure.
Have you met our Congress?
Yes, I know. I'm just saying. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying
Met
it.
our Congress.
I'm just throwing that out there as a statement.
I understand. The honest answer to that question is I do not know enough about the subject. I wish that I did. It would be a very good research project.
Yep. All right. Looks like I'm going to combine L. Snow's and MGTOW Mando's donations here. They have requests.
Oh, God.
Dear God, help us all.
Here we go.
No.
You sick bastards.
No.
And let's see, jumping over to back over to Rumble here, catch up. Raging Sailor before Mando says, Pop, here's a subject for idea of future videos. War Plan Red. A few buddies and I theorized it would take less than 3 days for the U.S. military to secure control over all of Canada.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Especially
Depending on how you did it. If you went in soft, I bet it would go. I bet you could take Canada. I
don't want to kill anyone. I just want
that's
their
what I
beer.
mean by going in soft. You don't go in smoking everybody.
No, I just want their beer.
That's fine.
Hey, Steve, phrasing.
I like poutine.
Phrasing.
Well, what's
Phrasing.
I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking about
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about ground exploitation.
He
methods.
mentioned half inflated fallacy. I think he needs the disco ball of doom.
God.
Yep.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Doesn't
Damn
matter. Doesn't matter. You walked into an ambush. You still die.
That's true. I did, and it was a freaking dog leg ambush.
Yes, it
was.
was. It was good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Digital Dude coming back again says, Pop posted a video on IG today. Guys talking about cats will eat your dead body almost immediately, face, brain, and intestines. I hope all those cats don't eat that disgusting snatch with ranch dressing.
That is actually true. I know this from a guy who was a Baltimore cop who told us a horror story about that.
Well,
and I used to taunt the feminists on Twitter with that. You will be found dead in your apartment at age 58 from heart failure and just general fatness. And nobody will notice until the stench from your cats having eaten you alerts the neighbors. It got me blocked a lot on Twitter.
Nice.
How did she die? Just general fatness. Oh my God, that's so fucked
Karen,
up. But it's hilarious.
I know, but it's so true though.
Oh,
Karen.
Yep.
That's going in the book, man.
Okay.
Let's see. Jumping over to the Odyssey set here, we got 32 pairs of eyeballs over there. Well, 64 pairs of eyeballs, 32 people. Sorry, I can't math right now. We got a couple of chats over there. We got one from Tatsuya. Hey, did you guys hear that Pete Hegseth, a combat veteran, author, and non-Washington insider, was nominated by Trump for Secretary of Defense?
Hey, did you hear that we went over that in great detail, and he's a reserve from the Minnesota National Guard who only held the rank of major and is 44 years old and has gone to Princeton and Harvard, which are 2 blocks checked when somebody is WEF certified.
Yep.
Sorry, don't mean to bust your bubble, but he strikes me as not the right guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of names that I don't like being mentioned.
Yeah, he was a major in the reserves, and that's not great. That's a bad sign.
All right, and second one here is Mark D's channel would for $20 says, "I'll take 2 scoops of righteous retribution, please."
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a waffle cone with that?
Nice.
Just a regular waffle cone or a twat waffle cone?
Rark.
Might have to go with the twat waffle.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, you bastard. Let me refresh the emails here.
What do you got over here?
Let's see. Checking on the cash apps. Scrolling up. Let's see, we got Florentine Marbaus for $1. Says, good evening to you Bolshevik business lip eaters.
Did you just call me
Bolshevik.
Did you just call me a Bolshevik?
Drink.
Business lips.
Business lips. What is that?
That's your butthole.
Ah! No, go away. Nobody likes you.
Hey,
Oh,
remember when you're a kid, you're like, I got to go do my business. Yeah. There you go.
Never kiss the business lip because
Nope.
they taste like shit. See, next one here, HKC for $5 says, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we got Crunch Muncher, $50 says, for y'all's service in the military and for the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And for that, you get one of these.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Outstanding.
where did the "We're Not Worthy" originate?
That's segment.
No, I know what it's from. I know that.
I don't remember who did it.
Wayne
but
and Garth, but
yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
Real time fake thing or deep fake on it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Billy Von Baum did a Wayne's World deep fake. And I think it just kind of snowballed into the We're Not Worthy after the few donations and whatnot. See, we got John Tilden here with $10 says, our democracy means our bureaucracy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody did a really good dub over of that. I think it was on YouTube or on Twitter, of replacing the word democracy with bureaucracy, and then everything makes sense when you listen to it.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yes, it does. That explains Canada.
Yeah.
Let's see. And looks like last Cash App of the night comes from Zach. $5 says, penalty money for missing the stream.
Aw, thanks, man.
There you go. That looks like all the Cash Apps there. Let me jump back over to the U-Boob side.
All right.
And of course, it's going to fucking freeze on me again.
Hang on, I might
Let's
have
see.
control over here. We don't have any new YouTubes on here, but we do have Alucard 1776 over on the Rumbly Tumblies with another $2. Here's one Femnots litter box. I'm not sure what you're driving at, but I get the idea.
Dude, man.
Let's see. Looks like Alucard 1776 came in with Pickle Rick over Kamala.
Yeah.
Pickle Rick! Yeah. See, Cliff 3188 coming in says, find the button for next time, Jimmy. I hope RFK appoints a gym bro and a nutritionist to head of the HHS department. Kick that fat fuck tranny.
Yeah.
Kick out that. Yep, there you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that needs to go. That thing needs to go.
Yeah. That was an utter disgrace.
Yeah. All righty. That looks like that caught up all on the Rumble side.
We good to go?
Ready on the layup?
Oh, we got another one.
And two gas, $1. Can you imagine what it'd be like if we added Mexico to the United States? I mean, I freaking love me some freaking Mexican street food, so I'm not really against it.
There's a lot of shit that needs to get fixed, though.
Yeah.
And I don't want to flip the bill for it.
No.
Nope. But yep, that looks like we are all caught up there on the super chats. So I believe it's time for safety briefing.
All right. Safety briefing. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. Never works out. If you must fornicate, wear a condom, take it with you, and flush it down the toilet, because child support really does last 18 to 21 years. And the courts aren't playing. If you want to engage in fisticuffs, I suggest you don't. Run away first if you can. And if you can't, do everything in your power not to go to the ground, because that is where you get stomped out. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. Maintain your situational awareness, because if somebody is going to attack you, your environment will have changed. And it's up to you to see it. Last but not least, I'm sick and tired of throwing you guys into the dirt because you're picking permanent solutions to temporary problems. Stay in the fight. Stay in the game. Play for time. Play the long game, because no one knows what tomorrow holds. Boom. Beer me.
Battle Dwarf, any final words?
Count Chad the Impaler threw $1 at us and said if we added Mexico to the United States, Pop would get his Latin ladies. As for what I have to say, yeah, okay, we won the elections, but don't rest on your laurels
Nope.
now, not when you got none, or you'll find yourself in the gutter right back where you came from. That's Ian Curtis from Joy Division, but he's right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And, well, you guys know what my final words are. Head on over to the store. Get yourself a shirt, hats, drinkables, all kinds of good stuff. You know, good ideas don't need censorship. All of the good stuff. Get you a Battledorf shirt.
All right.
We'll have to. We might have to take a look at see whose merch sells better. The Battledorf, you know, Dave's crayon shirt.
Who?
Yeah.
Pretty sure we got one for
Dave's Crayons shirt?
Partying Garden.
Dave's Crayons shirt.
There you go. But my favorite, evil hairless monkey.
Yeah.
Get you one of those.
I love that.
So, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are out for the night. Have yourself a good night, and keep the cootie juices off your dishes.
Take it easy.